Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. All right, Scorpio. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is September the 28th, and this reading will be coming out on September the 29th. Actually, nope. I am so wrong. It is coming out on September the 30th. Today is September the 29th. I'm going to start mentioning the dates, not because the readings have to pertain to that time period, but I think it's important to know when a reading is done, right? Because there are factors, right? Collectively, cosmically, and locally, individually, that definitely affect the reading. So if you watch this reading in the second week of October, you might want to know that, this happened at the end of September, when we're still in that energy. So anyhow, it's nice to have you here. We have the Queen of Discs energy. This is the Earth Mama, is what I like to call her. She is powerful, powerful, powerful. She is one that creates and sustains, and she also destroys, right? She is both the embodiment of what we would consider in a dualistic paradigm anyways, the light working mother, the nurturing, loving, building, giving mother, and also the dark mother, who is often kind of treacherous, maybe emotionally unavailable or blocked off, but will do anything they have to for their family, for their children, right? And we see this in stories like of Kali. You look at her and you think, whoa, this lady, she's gone wild. She's wearing all kinds of, strange adornments. And not only that, we often see her standing upon her consort, her beloved, her husband, right? Shiva. Why? And why is her tongue sticking out as well? There are a lot of specific reasons for these things. I'm not going to go into each one, but the story is she went to fight a demon, right, to save her children, her beloved ones, her family, her community, and every time she would fight this thing, and a drop of blood from the demon would hit the ground, more demons would spawn. And so there's just so many of them. So what does she end up doing? She ends up devouring, eating, containing that demon, taking it into herself so she can stop it from, wreaking havoc. But then she's made the sacrifice to take in all of this energy, this demonic thing, not because she's demonic, but because she is sacrificing of self for the greater good, right? So this energy of the Queen of Discs is one that is rooted in both places, right? So we're going to go ahead. We're going to turn this thing. And if you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. If you want to request, if you have a prayer request, if you would like a prayer said over you, I would love to pray for you. My husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot, his name is Paul, we both do a lot of praying for people. And so if you'd like to put that in the comments, or if you want to email it, Ula is here at gmail.com. And yeah. Let's see what's going on here. So we have a goose of the visitation of a, looks like cardinal. We have the name, it looks like Tony, Tony, down here, Y, Tony. Okay, so I want to start. I want to start with the heartbreak. It looks, yes. Okay, so we have a fierce being here. Here's the face. You can see side profile. Here is where the eye would be, and the mouth is open. This is the head. It looks like a crown, maybe feathers or some kind of headdress. We have this large kind of, maybe like a wrap or some kind of costume, robe, something like this. Now, hands holding up and holding a child. Okay, here's the head of the child. Here are, the arm, leg, all of that, looking outward. Okay, so to me, this is almost, I think of, like a Mayan priest or something. But there's just a violence in it. There is a sense of, like, very masculine, brutal energy. I kind of almost wonder if this is like a father figure, a brother, an uncle. There seems to be this sense of like a fierce proudness. There's so much pride. But it's almost like there's too much expectation, right? Like a parent that you have like a young kid in sports. Like my daughter, she does a bunch of sports, and we go to some of her friends' sporting games and stuff. So we're around football and soccer and t-ball and all these different kinds of things. And sometimes you'll see a parent who is out there just going nuts. I mean, like, on the sidelines screaming type stuff. And, the kids are young. So it's like, well, of course we want them to do well. We want them to find the things that they want to do and practice and get good at it and all of that. But, sometimes our emotions are the way that we communicate those, moments of pride and wanting for that victory and all of that stuff. It can maybe get a little bit out of hand. So I feel like this is a person that had this kind of energy. Now, I also feel that they must have been skilled in something, because I feel like they're initiating. Okay, so like a high priest who would initiate a devotee, they must be masterful in something to be able to initiate other people. So, I don't know what that is, but I'm wondering if this is like almost like a family business or like a skill set that has to do with the family business, or everybody's in the same industry kind of thing. Like your whole family's like, plumbers or welders or, whatever. I feel like, here's the thing though. This must have been going on when you were young. Because when I turn this, and I'm looking right here, before I turn it, we have two people on either side of a person who is in the middle who has an empty square where their heart is. And we have a horse that's like ready to go. So I feel like it's almost like you're maybe this father figure, this grandfather, brother, whoever, maybe they met somebody and they left. They like started a different life. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. I mean, because it feels like they disappear. And then it's like that missing heart. Like it's almost like a really heartless thing to choose, right? Now we turn this and we have a person here who's holding a child on their back and also holding what looks like, you know, I don't know, maybe like a animal of some kind, but I'm reading it as their arm is up and it looks like that missing square, kind of like they're holding a heart. Okay. Now we have what looks like death or time, Chronos, with the robe and carrying the scythe. We have a coiled snake over here. We also have, it looks like a home right over here. Okay, with windows. Okay, so I feel that maybe it ended up, oh, and then I turn it this way. It kind of looks like a tower, actually. Okay. So I feel that, oh, and a person working in the field back here too. Okay, so it feels to me like this, like bigger than life kind of character, this father figure, whoever it was, ends up maybe leaving, right? Going off, having, you know, another family, maybe traveling, maybe, you know, had shared custody, but over time would see you less and less, and then really not that often at all. But I do feel that there is a mother figure that never stopped mothering, right? Like this is your person who made sure that you had everything that you needed. They were always there. They're still there for you. I think that they're probably still there for you. I do feel that this connection is deep. It is one that is unbreakable. I feel that you both, you know, always look out for each other. But there is maybe something going on that is bringing the Saturn energy, the time, the reminder of our mortality. And it could be a health issue. It could be that, you know, this mother figure is getting older, you know, and maybe you're thinking about, like, how is this going to look as my mother gets older? How are we going to do this? Is she going to live with me, or is she going to live in a assisted place? Am I going to move in, or, you know, another family member going to move in? So I think some things are getting worked out. Okay. The real message I keep getting here is that you are in full understanding of how much this mother of yours, this mother figure, grandmother, sister, whoever it is, sacrificed so much for you. And I think that maybe you've gone through a lot of your life never really considering. But I think for whatever reason, recently you have really looked at, like, how much they put aside so they could put you first. And I think that, you know, of course, like, you know, as a child, you don't owe anybody anything because you weren't asked, you didn't ask to be born, right? I mean, maybe you did. I don't know how that works, but I'm of the belief that our kids don't owe us anything, right? I know some families, they do. They'll take payment from their children for all the, you know, expenses and that kind of thing once they get older. And to each their own, right? You know, but in my life, how I am raising my daughter, she doesn't owe me anything. I'm her mom. you know. Uh, so I feel that it's like this sense of knowing that you can do anything because you've watched your mother make something out of nothing. Like when it felt like all was lost, right? The bills were stacking up and you know, well, just taking care of kids and running them around and getting them to where they need to go and doing all this by themselves, you know, and maybe some family, but not with the partner that, you know, helped create these children. So I do feel there's a lot of strength derived from this. There's a lot of empathy derived from this. And I think that you're in this very sentimental place with this mother figure. Okay, so, you know, do it up. You know, lean into it. Give thanks. Let it be known how you feel. What does this say? We have THE, the one. Yeah. ONE, the one. We have two people face to face. Here's the heads, bodies. This one is almost, I feel like in a kind of meditative state. You got to pull it out to kind of see it that way. So there is a sense of beginning to know a deeper love as well. And this makes sense to me. Oftentimes when we are doing work within whatever sector, it makes it easier to dwell within that energy in other places in our life. So if we're doing work where we're like really recognizing like our mother did so much, she gave me everything. She, you know, worked in endless hours to make sure that, you know, you had everything, your siblings had everything, everybody was good. And recognizing that and really having that gratitude, that love, that deep, deep love, it absolutely changes the atmosphere of all other aspects of your life. And so I do feel like this deepening of a bond with this person is also flowing over into your bond with another person. And I feel like the other person is a romantic relationship. Now, this might be your spouse, it might be a significant other, a long-term relationship. Maybe it's somebody you're dating, or maybe it is somebody you're getting to know. Maybe it is a good friend or somebody you're falling in love with. But it does feel like there is a sense of equality within this relationship, seeing eye to eye, being on the same level, speaking the same language. Now, I don't mean like spoken language necessarily or written language. I mean like you understand each other. You are on the same wave. Like you exist in the same kind of reality. And so I do. I think that this is a beautiful, beautiful union. I do feel like you are somewhat reserved with this person for some reason, which isn't really a Scorpio vibe for the most part. But I feel like when you are with this person, it's almost kind of like a calming effect. You just feel very chill with them. Now, we also have, it looks like the name maybe Jim, we have the J something and then an M, N maybe. We have a bird kind of hopping around. We have the hermit, we have the bird, we have a message, and it is the sense of, I feel like you're going to be spending some time alone in the evenings, at night, overnight, in the evenings maybe. It feels dark. And I feel like at first there's like this transition of maybe feeling a little bit, the number 28 as well. Maybe feeling a little bit of anxiety about being home by yourself at night, or maybe you and your significant other or friend or housemate or whoever it is, kind of on different schedules. So you're not going to be seeing each other as much, it feels like, which I don't think is a terrible thing, but I feel like for you, it's like when you change your routines, it takes a minute for you to kind of feel like you're at home again. So you're getting used to it. I do feel like there is some underlying anxiety about not having enough time with your significant other or this person that you're courting, you're falling in love with, whatever it is. So I feel like, maybe communicating that, but also recognizing that having a little more time might be a gift in this cycle, right? So I'm of the mind, I've always been like this in my relationships. I like to spend a lot of time together. Not necessarily like talking or doing anything together, but being in the same room or in the same house. Doing what I just use the term parallel play like they do for young kids. And that's basically like when kids are really young, toddlers, they will play with their toy, but they don't necessarily share it or play with it with another kid. But the kids will sit next to each other playing individually with their own toys. And that's how they're playing together until they get a little older and they start to, I guess, not everybody, of course, but, start to learn how to interact more and share and get into these games together. So I like my life to be a lot of parallel play. I like to just hang out, and be near or cuddling or, whatever. So when that is kind of, cut short or, a new schedule starts for my family, it is hard. I'm like, oh, I miss, how everything was so perfect. And now, I'm missing, the morning hang or the evening hang or whatever. And that's understandable. But then for me, I have to remind myself, this is like the universe giving me a gift, because now I have a little more time to do, my writing, reading, researching, working out, cooking, whatever. And cooking because it's a hobby, working out because it is a hobby. I enjoy these things. They're not just chores for me all the time. Some days, yes, definitely, but not always. And so I feel like leaning into the extra time and doing something with it. Don't ruminate, don't lament. And I know you so well, Scorpio. Like I always say, I'm a Virgo. I am like the less cool twin of Scorpio, right? Scorpio is the really cool, like hot, charming, interesting sibling. Right? Sorry, Virgos, if you're listening. We have our own really great qualities, but we are not usually the coolest in the group. Only if it's like, like we're aloof and standoffish or whatever, then we might be cool. But, yeah, so Scorpio, I feel this deeply, because I get it. I can easily spend all of my spare time just like going over, why should I be mad? Why should, I feel paranoid or scared or distrustful. 19 is our first lucky number. But, instead putting some work in front of me or following my own path and focusing on my own stuff, it becomes a blessing. So take advantage of the time, because it won't last. You'll be back on your regular coupled up schedule very soon. Okay, 43, 1943, and we're going to go 53. Okay. And then we're just going to end with our Wild Offering Oracle cards. And I'm just going to go ahead, stop where it feels right. And it says, health, allow me, divine, to be tender and accepting of my body no matter what ailments I may have. May I always know it's doing the best that it can. Help me be loving, a loving ally and friend to this sacred form, to this most sacred form, your temple, one of your temples anyways. All right, Scorpio, I'm going to tell you I love you, because I do, and I thank you for being here with me. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I would love that. If you want to tell me about what you're going to wear for Halloween, I want to hear that too. I have a post where you can see one of my silly hanging out around the house outfits I had on the other day. Other than that, again, I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk soon. Good night.